Right now, my shoulder broke, but we still getting to the money. We still count paper. This ain't a pump and dump.
How do you feel about the rapper Rick Ross having the same name?
Well, the fact that he stole my name, not that we had the same name, he actually stole my whole story, my identity, the whole thing. Mm-hmm. You know, he built his career off of my legacy.
I buy your masters. You ready?
Since Rick Ross performed one of the biggest frauds in history on Big Meech, and Meech allegedly punched him, 50 Cent is having a fantastic time. Here's the real kicker though. Except for Big Meech, everyone anticipated this betrayal. This tale is currently being consumed by the internet as if it were the biggest reality TV show's season finale. However, what exactly did Meech want to get out of a former police officer? Rick Ross knew exactly what he was doing and the repercussions. Let's examine this rabbit hole in more detail. Rick Ross revealed to 50 Cent some very important subliminal comments about Big Meech and Lil Meech on social media. The most absurd thing, however, is that ever since Big Meech was freed from prison a few months ago, he has been lying to Rick Ross as if he were his own lord and savior. Despite being well aware that Ross had been one of 50's longest antagonists, Meech chose to spend time with Ross, rather than maintain his distance and show appreciation to the man who kept things gangster with him. The fact that Big Meech was out here smiling in photos with Rose and pretending like Rick Ross had been holding it down for 50 Cent for the previous 20 years, even if he wasn't exactly expecting him to treat Rick Ross like a sworn enemy. The 1950s must have been fundamentally affected by that. 50 Cent made millions thanks to Big Meech's fame, but at least he produced to make use of it. Rick Ross played Big Meech like a chess player. What more could he have done? Ross handled the matter like the crafty man he is, seeking to acquire influence, soaking up attention and stroking his ego, knowing that it was going to become a major drama. And what did he do as the situation heated up? Before anyone could even comprehend what was occurring, he began to retreat. How else would you characterize the second item's failure? Ross made sure that his unexpected shoulder ailment was widely known online.
Still getting to the money. We still count paper.
Do you understand? We're expected to feel sorry for him all of a sudden. This is where things start to get a lot wilder. Rick Ross' shoulder issue wasn't the only thing keeping Big Meech at bay. Absolutely not. Additionally, he was using it as a pretext to avoid having to answer to his fans. They were the same followers he defrauded using his cryptocurrency, Boss Token. He was being referred to online as Ruggy Ross because of the manner in which he had lied to everyone who had trusted him. Additionally, he must have been extremely harsh on the planet. Furthermore, he was exposed a few days after deceiving Big Meech, which is how he got that broken shoulder, and that says a lot, to be honest. This is the problem. Rumor has it that Rick exaggerated Big Meech, Ross, who advised him to ask 50 Cent for more money. There is no way to make this stuff up. For instance, other musicians are avoiding Big Meech like he's ill because he currently has nothing to his name. Everyone believed the Wingstop franchises would be good for Big Meech. Rumor has it that Rick Ross sold most of them in secret, leaving only roughly 2 in order to use the proceeds for his real estate company. Get this as well. Because of how easily his alleged romance with Rick Ross fell apart, Big Meech is being made fun of. Since Lil Meech and Big Meech are both older men who ought to have known better, Michael Rainey Jr., one of the most vocal voices, stated rather bluntly that he does not feel sorry for them. 50 was also highlighting this assertion in an area of the internet.
Like, I'm a grown man. Why the fuck I gotta feel bad for another grown man? Like, you a grown man too, nigga. You asking for my sympathy for it, nigga. You be alright.
We already know that 50 Cent's personal feuds are illogical. DJ Vlad concurs as well. You don't want to argue with 50 Cent because he will do whatever it takes to make his point.
If you piss him off, his own sometimes too. You know, he'll cancel BMF to prove.
Rick Ross has left people high and dry in the desert before, as Big Meech demonstrates. He actually did the same thing to his own crew when he left them to be beaten up in Canada and then returned to claim he was testing their strength. That is a cunning move at the moment. But to be honest, Rick Ross has been acting that way the whole time. He saw it coming from the beginning when WAC 100 revealed Rick Ross to be the true antagonist in this entire conflict between 50 and Big Meech. Big Meech never really had a friend in Ross. From the beginning, he understood exactly what he was.
All of this.
Who's the bad guy? I don't think there's a bad guy.
No, yes it is. That Vlad, let's talk about it.
I think Meech is the one that made a mistake.
No,
No? You think 50?
no,
Lil Meech.
no.
Who am I forgetting now?
Rick Ross knew perfectly damn well what he was doing.
Putting him up and helping him make money while claiming all these lofty things. He turned Meech against 50 while portraying Meech as his ally. However, it was all just rhetoric in the end. Whack 100 was correct. Contrary to what some would want to claim, Rick Ross would have kept their business a secret if he truly intended to help Big Meech get back on his feet. However, no. Even though he was well aware that he would never obtain the rights to the BMF series, he was out there roasting 50 and discussing it. Besides, since Rick Ross has stopped talking about Big Meech, none of it is occurring. Rick Ross only promotes goods that will increase his wealth. Big Meech is no longer one of those things. Additionally, this is the moment when everyone's jaws fall to the floor. Rumor has it that Rick Ross was the real reason Big Meech's welcoming benefit party was called off. However, he consistently led us to believe it was 50 Cent. What made him do that and why? Simple, he didn't want Big Meech to take advantage of that performance and win the game again. Rather, he wished Meech to remain out of the spotlight while doing the public duties of the decent officer. According to 50, I had nothing to do with this. The post was subsequently removed. Don't call my phone, please. I genuinely wish you a pleasant day. Cheers to Valentine's Day. You have no idea how powerful I am. He was not taken seriously by many. Now, however, everything makes perfect sense. I believe that I am Big Meech. When Rick Ross rapped in the BMF song, Big Meech believed Ross was on his side. That's really crazy. Now, this question may be confusing to you. What if Big Meech was Rick Ross's true objective? Consider it. Rick Ross has a history of using other people's names to establish his brand, particularly when those persons are rap moguls. It's not even debatable. The actual Rick Ross, a notorious mobster who was incarcerated at the time, served as the model for the man's theatrical image. Additionally, he challenged Rick Ross about it and even attempted to sue him after the real Rick Ross came out. Now interview
about the rapper Rick Ross having the same name.
Well, the fact that he stole my name, not that we had the same name, he actually stole my whole story, my identity, the whole thing. You know, he built his career off of
this whole thing happened in 2005, after the rapper was sued in 2010 for identity theft and copyright infringement by the actual Rick Ross, who had a huge empire in the 1980s. Rosie further claimed that Rick Ross was lying in that he had made up the name. In addition, a judge decided in favor of the rapper in 2013 because, let's face it, Rosie's supporters argued that his use of the term qualified as free speech protected by the First Amendment. William Leonard Roberts, too, was granted the right to retain the name after the real Rick Ross lost the case as a result of that decision. That's how simple it is. Given everything, is it really that absurd to believe that Ross with Big Meech, would they have been attempting the same thing? When he initially starts talking about that BMF song, I think I'm Big Meech. Let's just say that it caused a lot of people to be out here dragging Rick Ross. Some claim that Rick Ross fumbled and was too afraid to reveal his face at the stadium. And now history is being repeated. Given that, let's face it, a bro could turn on you at any time. It makes sense that 50 Cent once declared that he has never appreciated Rick Ross as a human
person. It is career that you have any respect for? Oh, no, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. I'd never.
It's also true, since he didn't even have to do anything before everything broke apart on its own. Let's just say that 50 is most likely smiling through all of this chaos right now. While Big Meech and Lil Meech are out there hopping from one star to another, 50 is out there working on new projects and gaining more paper every day. Many fans are certain that Rick Ross is punching the air right now because he boasted a few weeks ago about purchasing 50 masters. In hindsight, that assertion seems completely absurd.
Your masters. You ready?
Though it is a little too late for 50 to assist Big Meech or bring Lil Meech back, it is evident that some lessons have been learned. Zip with a drip, who immediately recognized that 50 Cent was telling the truth about Big Meech, has also voiced numerous thoughts on the subject. He expected things to get more complicated soon and that Big Meech would finally be dismissed by Rick Ross. And we're in that situation right now. You would think Big Meech would have become wiser or at least had a better idea of how to manage things after spending so much time in prison. However, in practice, it is the exact opposite. Because of this person said, "Let me explain. It's surprising that a former jail guard would turn on a former prisoner and then a new dishonest man takes their place. That has a term for it. It is what we call karma. This karma really did just come out of the oven. However, I would really like to know your thoughts on the matter, given that he is now being accused of betraying his boyhood friend Cuff. Do you believe Big Meech will disregard this treachery, or is he planning his retaliation against Rick Ross? Kindly leave your remarks in the space provided below. Remember to hit the notification bell if you like this video so you don't miss any more exciting updates.